Peace, my dear student, and welcome to the very first project. In this project, you and I are going to build this web application that will enable users to search for nearby airports or airports around the world. And if for some reason I want to search for airport in Sweden, so what happens? These are 20 results for Sweden. And if I want to narrow my search to a state or a city in Sweden, Stockholm, so we have this just 5 results. Now let me say I want to search for airports in Texas, in the US. Texas. So we have these as well. And some of the functionality of this web application is that when a user start typing, we are receiving a validation. Not enough character in search terms. So let's keep going. There's a spinner indicating there's a search going on behind the scene. Alright, so in building this web application, we'll be using the newest syntax in JavaScript today. So as a result of that, we're going to work with module, hence we need Webpack and then Babel. So what Webpack does, Webpack is used to compile JavaScript modules and bond your assets. So, and for Babel, Babel is a JavaScript transpiler that converts the newest syntax into plain old ES5 that can run in any browser today in the world. So we want our app to support older browser, hence we're going to use Babel to translate or transpile our code to the older version of older syntax in JavaScript. So this is a clear example. We're having an arrow function of test here, and what Babel does, Babel translate it or compile or transpile it to a newer to the older syntax. So this syntax will run in older browser, why some browser doesn't support it yet. So that's the reason we want to work with Webpack and Babel. And as a result of that as well, we're going to work with this Babel Webpack starter. So this is a very intensive explanation here. A starter pack that build JavaScript application using standards from ES 2015, 2016, 2017, 18, 19 to even 20. So what this Babel Webpack starter does, it uses Webpack and Babel and Webpack Dev Server to compile and save. So as a result of that, we can now work with async and await. So Webpack, we're going to use Webpack to bundle our code, and we're going to use Babel to transpile or convert our code to the older syntax. Alright, so with that being said, let me just download this. But before I download, I want to create a folder on my desktop, which is Airport Finder. So unzip this, and I just want to copy this so we can move this to try. So now I'm going to open my terminal. You can, for those of us that's working with Windows operating system, so just open your command line, then make sure you cd to inside to this folder Airport Finder, cd desktop, and cd Airport Finder. So let me ls this. So we are in this folder now. So the next thing we're going to do is, for those of us that don't have Node.js, make sure you go to nodejs.org and download Node.js and install it on your machine. Otherwise, whatever wants to do now won't work. So in this, which I'll provide source code as well for you. So we're going to run npm install. So in my terminal, I just want to do npm install. So this will install all the dependencies. The next, let's compile and build. So npm run build. And we can start our the server now. Alright, so perfect. We are up and running. So this is our starter page. Alright, so the next step now, go to this website and make sure you register. I already did. I think I'll fix that very soon. So sign in. I just want to sign in. So when you sign in, click on your API access, and make sure you impute this localhost 8080 in here. Just copy and paste it and request new API secret. When you click on it, it will instantly give you an API secret because you need it as well. So then just click on submit. Alright, account information successfully updated. That sounds good. Now let's go to alright, the next step we're going to launch code editors. I just want to open my folder, open the index.html. Alright, so we're going to use Boomer. It's a framework. Boomer.io is a front-end framework. Click on docs, overview, and start. So we're going to copy this, paste. We need this script here. Then if I should reload, we have this. Hello world, my first website with Boomer. So we are up and running. So what Webpack and Babel does, Babel transpire our codes to this app.bundle.js, which we linked right in here. And we are using Webpack to bundle all our assets. So let's create our nav, which is this. So we're gonna just go to component navbar, and let's copy this. So we don't need this section. Save. So when I reload here, we're expecting to see a new nav. Alright, so in terms of this hero image right here, so I did go to pizzabay.com and I searched for airports. So I searched for airports and I just downloaded this image here. Then meanwhile, I also worked with their layout, this hero. Let me just show you because I won't be wasting time in rebuilding the HTML, rebuilding our front end. So copy that. So under the navbar, paste and save. So when we reload, we are expecting to see this, which is the error. So anyway, I won't be reinventing the way, so I'll be making use of copy paste. Perhaps that's the reason why it's being invented. So I just want to copy this HTML here, which is every code right in here. So I just want to copy it and Control A and paste it. So save. So when I reload, we have this, but we are having problem the image. So to fix that of the image, I'm just going to paste in. Okay, let's create a folder first. So we'll call this asset. So in that folder, I'll create another folder which is img. So in that img, we're going to paste assets img. Just want to paste this bg, this background image, which is this. And in our asset, I want to create a file style.css. Alright, so I'm gonna copy the basic CSS syntax and then paste it here. So what is actually happening here? We are just targeting the landing, this customized class landing BG. So this is our nav that take care of this nav right here. And so for the error section, we're using a custom class which is landing BG. So we're targeting it and we're referring to our image in asset image bg.jpg. So save. So when we reload this, see what's going to happen. We have this. So it happened like magic. So right now nothing is working. We'll start typing. So if I want to search for Jamming airport in Jamming, nothing happens. So I'm going to close this. I think I'm going to close this as well. So this website that we are using their API, they provide API SDK. So we're going to work with their API SDK as well, which I'm going to provide the source code, the file for you to download and use. So you don't actually need to do what I'm doing right now. So you can just sit down and watch or sit down and listen to what I'm doing. So alright, so we're going to create a file in our source. So this file, we're going to name it .js. Alright, and also I need that of UI.js as well. So for the airport codes node.js, we need their library, which is their SDK. Copy everything here. I think ends here, yeah? So I'm going to paste it here and save. So in the app.js, this app.js, we want to delete this and save as well. So you can close these and open all of the UI. So this is app.js, this is UI.js, and this is our HTML. So in our HTML, let me go back because we're going to work with the explanation on how to use their API SDK. So in our we can close this now. Yeah, we can leave this for now. Okay. So in our input, I want to split this screen. Right, supposing the user input Poland as their search term now, so we want to target this input box and get these terms out from the input box. So we're going to do that by, let's create a comment, search airport, and let's create a constant type of variable of search airport should be equals to, we want to target this input now. Get document dot get element by ID. This ID in our input. Where are you? Input. This custom attribute of ID. So we want to target it. So then afterwards, we're gonna want to add event listener. That if I could spell very well. Alright, so add event listener. Alright, so we're gonna take this variable now and add event listener. So what do we want to listen for? So whenever a user start typing, immediately the first keystroke, which would be we need key up. So our second callback function, we're going to use event handler here, which is E. So we're going to work with arrow function. So as the name implies, arrow. And so what are we going to do? So we want to get user input, which is wherever is typed in here, Poland. We want to get this input. So to do that, I'm going to create a constant type of variable of temp, which will be equal to e.target.value. So let's console.log this to see temp inspect Poland. Right, perfect. So we're having our results. So Sweden, let's see. Alright, so we are having our results in here. So what are we going to do next? So the next thing in mind now is we want to contact our API. That API, we have Sweden. Do you have any results for us? So API will check its own database and whatever it will give us result for Sweden. So to accomplish that, all we're gonna do is but before that, let's test if actually there's a term here. So we'll say if term is not equal to, if term is not empty, which is not equal to empty, we want to do something. So we want to contact or make an HTTP call to API. Yes, what are we going to do? For now, we don't know. So we don't know for now. We're going to sort this out later. Okay, so to make the HTTP call in their SDK, is a very nice explanation is here. So we need this. First, we need to import. So just want to grab this import. So we won't be working with their autocomplete, but we'll be working with multi. So multi enables us to find a list of airports matching our search term. So this will be working with multi here. Alright, so we'll be importing it from dot, yeah, which is from this. Alright, and the reason for that is because they already exported. So that's why now we are importing it from here. Alright, so the next is to make an and make a call to our API. So we're gonna copy this to make life easy for us, and instead of auto we're gonna use multi and our API key. So copy the API key, you should be here, and secret will be here. So instead of 15 we want to go 20. Right, so what are we going to do next? So the in their documentation is really simple. So we're going to make a request now to our, so let's use API instead of that. So we're going to make a request, then pass in our term, which is what we get from the user input, which is what we get from here. So we're going to pass it and make the request. So when the request comes back, so we're going to do on success and error. So let me save. So when the result comes back, so here will be API. Don't forget to change it to API. So on success, we're going to log in our data. If we receive an error, we're going to log in the error as well. So let's save and let's try it out. Poland. APC is not defined. Yeah, this should be API. You see the reason why copy paste is not good? Alright, so let's see. Poland. So we are actually receiving. So it's actually working. So knit this up. So instead of logging this, let's log in the data directly. Claire Mamo. Perfect. Sweden. Perfect. So we're receiving 20 elements of an array as an object. Yeah, we are progressing. So this is an object. We need the airport. So what we're gonna do here is, since we have this data now and we want to display this data on our UI, so we want to pass these data now to our UI.js. So how we're going to do that? So to do that, in here we're going to call first, let's go to our UI. Let me save this. Let's go to our UI and create a class of UI. So in this class we're going to work with constructors. What constructor does, don't be confused. Constructor is invoked or called immediately when an instance of this class is called. Alright, so constructor will be invoked immediately. So we're going to use, this is pertaining to this class, this dot display, which will be equals to document dot get element by ID. So we want to target our HTML. Where's our table? Our T body, which is display row. So we want to target this. Remember, this is actually a table. This is a table, not actually a table. And so we want to input our result in our T body section. Okay, so we need this. So we are hooking up to this display, which is the T body right in here. So this will run immediately. An instance of this class is called. All right, so let's export our UI now. So we're going to create constant UI, which should be equal to new UI. Alright, so this is an instance now of this class. When this instance is called, this will run immediately. Alright, so now since we export it here, we can import from here as well. So we're going to do import. So we need the full class, which is UI, and also we also need the instance of that class. So we need from UI, so that is it. Save. So now we can use the instance of this class, and whenever this instance is used of this class, this will run, constructor will run immediately. So now in our success, we're going to say, we're going to use the instance show show result. We're going to call that method, and we're going to pass in the data we're receiving to the show result. So now let me save this. In our UI, so we're going to create a method which we just called, which is show results. So we're going to receive a data. So let's console log.log this data to see if maybe we'll actually have this file in our UI.js. So now if I type Sweden, wow, so it's working. Alright, so but we need, this is an object of an array, so we need the array itself, which is airport. So what we're going to do here now, we're going to say constant. Let's say results, right, equal to data dot. Remember, this is an object. Because it's an object, we can use dot airports. Dot airports. So dot airports. Alright, so now if we console the log dot log our results, Sweden. Perfect. Now we are receiving an array of an object, 20 element of an array of an object. This is beautiful. So now what are we going to do now? So now we are going to use for loop to display our data, because we want to display everything here in this UI. Okay, so we're going to use for loop. So before we use for loop, we're going to create a let type of a variable of output. So we'll set this to empty string at first, and we're going to say for, we want to use for loop. So remember, this is an array now. This result which we just logged in here is an array. So we're going to say for array because we need the length of it, and since this is a T body, we need a T row. That's how to create a table in an HTML. So we're going to take our output now, which is empty. We're going to append plus. We need T row. All right, and so we're going to take it again. So let's close out T row. Let's close this, which would be /. Alright, so now we'll take this again. So we need, instead of T row now, T data, TD. Alright, so we say, let's shift this plus. This is the first TD plus. We need our array and the index. So in this case, this will be 1 because index is equals to 0. So is 0 less than the length of the array, which in this case we should be 20, which is true. This will run. Alright, so result, which is in this case 0, which is in this case now we are working with this particular array now, which is 0. And we need the name, so we need the name of it. So we say 0.name. That will give us the name 0.name. So we need plus. Gotta close this guy. Alright, so perfect. So this is what we're going to do for the rest, for the name, airport, code, type, and country. So instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, I'm just going to copy and paste the rest. Perhaps that is the reason why copy and paste has been invented, just to make life easy for you and I. So I'm going to paste this and I'm going to save. So what I'm going to do now is, okay, so let's output this and see. So outside the for each loop, we're going to say console.log. Now let's output this. So in this case, we're going to search for Mamo. Test is not defined. You see the reason why copy and paste is very bad. This should be result. All right, save. So say Mamo. All right, perfect. So while receiving none there. Marmor. Why are we getting that? Console.log, no. This is the problem. The problem is this should be plus equal to. That is how to write it, alright? So this will be plus equal to. So now if I should console log outside the loop and console log marmor. Wow, is the yes, so same thing here. This will be equal to this. So now let's try. I believe you're gonna work now. Perfect. So now we are receiving this data. So we can copy this data, this raw HTML, and let's see. Let's target a table. So in the table, so in the TD, which is this, so let's edit, and let's put this in between. Not airport. Copy. Why not copy? Copy. Edit. What is happening here? Alright, now if I should click outside, we are having this. So which is what we need. So if I, for example, let's reload this and search for Sweden, which will actually return 20 elements. So if we copy this, copy, and in our element, let's edit this and paste this right here. Click outside. So we are having this. So this is exactly what we need to do. Alright, so now to achieve this, how are we going to accomplish this now? So to accomplish it, we are going to say this display outside here. So we're going to say dot inner HTML, so which will be our output. So now if we should type Mammon, we'll receive Mammon. So if we type Poland, we'll receive Poland. We receive Poland as well. So our app is up and running now. So, but we still have little job to do. So, all right. So, if let's see if actually the error is actually working. So, if we start typing like error, not enough character in search term. So that sounds good. So let's handle that now. So to handle that, instead of this, let's log in the data dot message, just the message. Not enough characters, so we are actually logging in the message. So we're going to call a method in our UI, which is we're going to say UI dot show alert. So we're going to pass data. See, so in our UI, we're going to create the show alert. So in here, we're going to say show alert. So we're receiving data. So let's console.log to see dot message. If we still have same thing here. Alright, perfect. So it's working. So now to display the alert, we're going to, in our HTML, I created a dev with an ID attribute of notification. So we're going to hook up to this. And because we call an instance of UI, an instance of this class here in here, so this will run immediately. So as a result of that, we want to hook up to this dev here with an ID of notification. So we're going to do this dot notify should be equal to document dot get element by ID notification. So hence we can take this dot notification and in here, so in here let's create an article with some. So in here we're going to use Boomer classes right here. So I just want to copy and paste it here. So let me just copy paste this instead of trying to write everything from the beginning. So what happened, we're using template string here, and we're creating an article, HTML element of article, and we're giving it a class with a message is danger. So in that we are in here we are having a dev with a class of message body. These are all Boomer classes. So now we are using a variable to display our message, which is our error message. So now if I should save and I start typing, so we'll receive something here, not enough character in search term. But as you can see, this remain standby, nothing happened. Alright, so we want this to disappear within 3 seconds. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a timeout. Alright, so I swear just copy that. So what happens, so in our timeout we are calling a timeout function. So we're using an arrow function here, and we're saying this dot clear alert, so in 3 seconds. Alright, so this clear alert, alright, so we are actually calling so we are using JavaScript set timeout method here. So we are passing our callback functions in our so we're using arrow function here. So we are calling this dot clear alert. So we're going to create our alert to clear the message in 3 seconds. Alright, so this will be clear alert message. So say clear alert, and all we gotta do is to, let me take this. Okay, now so all we gotta do is to, let's create a constant type of current alert to check if actually there's an alert there. Should be equal to document dot get element by, or query selector, sorry, so we're going to use query selector because we want to actually check if there is danger in the class. Because right now if we should inspect this, there is in danger right here in this class. So we need that class, so we're going to say document.querySelector since we want to deal with class now. And so what we want to select, we want to check if there is danger. So if we have that, we're going to, so if we have current alert, which will be true, So we want to do current dot remove after three seconds. So let's reload these and start typing arrow. What is happening? Something went wrong. So let's reload and see what went wrong. Are we having? All right. So if I start typing, let's see. After 3 seconds, disappear. Perfect. So we are up and running. So for the success notification, that's to say if someone should search for SmartMon and we have a positive response, so we want to display that as well. So to implement that, for the success, which will be immediately after the T, which is this, after we output it, we're going to call this .notify.inner HTML. Alright, so what we're going to do, I'm going to paste in some couple of HTML tags right in here. Same apply, just the article with the class of message and its danger for the error, and for the error of its primary is for success, and as well we are actually taking the data, the term, to uppercase. So this is why if I should start typing Marmon, see what happened. So let me save this and reload. So when we start typing Marmon, well, test is not defined. Yeah, our test is not defined. This will be this will be results, not test. So Mammon, so we have positive showing one result for Mammon. The reason is because we are taking the data, the term, to uppercase. So that is why we are receiving that. All right. So for the spinner, to start spinning whenever the user start typing, so we're going to go to our app.js. So in here, so immediately the user start typing, we want the spinner to start spinning. So what we're gonna do, which will happen right in here, so we're gonna call UI.input spinner. So in our UI, let me save this. So in our UI, we're gonna create that method. So input spinner. So in this method spinner, so we're gonna create a variable which we're gonna name spinner const spinner, which will be equal to document dot get element by not animation, get element by ID. So in our input, so we have this custom ID attribute of loading, so we're going to target that. So to make this actually start spinning, all we gotta do is to add is dash loading. So by adding that, this we will see a spinner right in here. So this is the class we want to add. So before we add that class, we want to target this ID, which is loading. So by receiving it, we'll take our spinner, which we'll call .class list .add. So the class we want to add is dash loading. So let's set timeout. Then I'm going to use arrow function as well. So we'll say spinner dot class list dot remove to remove the spinner after 3 seconds. So what we want to remove? We want to remove is loading. So when are we going to remove it? After 3, which will be after 3 seconds. So 3 seconds will be 3000 milliseconds. So now if we start typing, let's see, let me reload this. Anyway, I think I have to save this, then reload. So when I start typing, this spinner should start. Why are you not working? Let me save, reload. Alright, so spinner, input spinner, which is by ID loading. Okay. So you think spinner on add class. So this should be loading. Loading. So now if we start typing, our spinner is up and running. 3 seconds, it will disappear. But why are you not disappearing after 3 seconds? Let's see. Something is wrong. So we are calling spinner.class list.removed. This would be 3000, not 30,000. So let's check it out. Now it's working. Alright guys, this is the end of the tutorial, and the next thing we want to do now is to bundle our code. So I want to use my integrated internal terminal, and I want to do npm bundle, npm run build. So when we do that, Webpack will do its job with Babel as well. So now instead of using the server, we can just run our index.html and start typing. Our website is up and running. So if we want to deploy the website online, Poland, so it's up and running. So if we want to deploy this website online, so the only thing we need now is to upload the index and the asset and the build. Let's see. No, we don't need that bundle. We just need the asset, the index, and the source. So this is all we need to deploy our web application. Alright guys, see you in the next project, and bye.